So I got to do Rise of Skywalker with you a few years ago when you added new scenes in, and I remember you talking about the legacy of the attraction and then how you've been a part of it the entire time. Can you talk about what it's been like going through this last 40 years and how it's changed perhaps from your perspective as technology's grown?
Well, right from the start, when Tony Baxter and I started on the original Star Tours, the fact that it was a motion-based simulator that could be programmed, we were like, well, this is great. This can be changed in the future. Of course, back then we had a big 70 millimeter film projector and a loop cabinet, so not as easy. But when we went to The Adventures Continue, we started with one idea. George wanted the pod race because he was working on episode 1. But we said, well, what's going to be in episode 2? And then what's going to be in episode 3? And then as great Imagineers, we said, well, why does it have to be one? Why can't it be multiple? And then once we got that branching idea, that just gave us the ability, as the new material came out, to say, what's in that could be added to Star Tours? And that's, to me, I think that is the beauty of Star Tours. It is a greatest hits, gives you a chance to go to your favorite places, see your favorite characters. Well, you never know where you're going to go.
Right.
I don't know when I get on board. I sit down, what am I going to get today? And I think that's part of the fun, is that you go back, even if you've seen everything, you want to go back to say, what do you think we're going to get? And everyone has their favorites. Oh, I love Hoth, I love this. The ability to just add more in there, more possibilities, just means I think it will continue to, I hope, be a fan favorite, because it will always be surprising.
I hope so too, and I love you thinking of what are we going to get. You get to ask the question, what are they going to get as they're developing this? How do you come up with those moments that are going to end up in the attraction, and then how far out do you plan that?
Well, we try and align with the productions. We look at this, I read the script. I get brought, in a secret room. I get to sit there with the script, and I go through and I just sort of look for what do I think would make an interesting sequence and what would be differentiated from what we have. Sometimes it's like, what's a world that will have a very different color palette? What can we do differently with the motion base to give the ride a different feel and a different tone? And the Purgle was so unique. I think, it's like we don't replicate exactly what happens in the story. In Star Tours, we kind of play with it, but it's like, oh, wouldn't it be amazing to come out and for once be in a moment where 3PO goes, wait, I'm a tour guide, and you're seeing something that no one's seen, so he switches to tour guide for a moment. He turns and he says, Purgle, they're the legendary, and then of course we get pulled into a battle, but we said, oh, wouldn't it be great to have a moment in Star Tours where it's just a beauty moment?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have to get into the, the thrill. But just to change it up from what the other sequences are that often go right into action, action, action. So it's all about mixing it up. What moves, what place, what tone can we give, so that each time we add something new, the fans can say, oh, I love that one, and I love this one, and I love that one.
Last question. What's your favorite part of your job?
Coming to work every day. As I get to work on so many different things, it never gets boring. Trust me. But also the ability to say with something like this, to say that after all these years, I can still have the fun of creating new Star Wars sequences with the teams, with our pals at Lucasfilm and Skywalker, and just keep the magic going.
And I have to say, from my side, it was a highlight getting to ride it with you a few years ago. That was just super cool.
Well, for me as well. That's who we do it for. We don't do it for us. We do it for the guests, and hopefully they're going to enjoy what we've created now. Because some of these characters from the Disney Plus shows have become their favorites now. So it's sort of like you expect to see them. It's like when Pirates of the Caribbean had Jack Sparrow. We had to put Jack in the attraction because kids would come in and say, where's Jack Sparrow? Now people say, where's Mando? Where's Grogu? Where's Ahsoka? They're part of the canon of Star Wars now, and so they belong in the canon of Star Tours.
Totally. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Pleasure.